It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
First carry for the 2018 Pro Bowler, James Conner. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 30-yard line.
On the run is Conner. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. They'll run here with Conner. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39.
The tackle.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 24-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brought down at the 15.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing. At
their own 25-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's Logan Wilson there to bring him down.
Gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Quick slant to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
1st down, Ravens.
Jackson from the shotgun. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Logan Wilson in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
22-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it with Connor. Shreds the tackle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Connor on 1st down, not going to get a whole lot. Maybe a couple. 2nd down coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
James Conner.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31.
Bengals 7, Ravens nothing.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
From the red zone now, Wentz. They'll roll him out right. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. Wentz to throw again. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
There's not much is perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm. Relax a little bit and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early to panic.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Roman. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
25-yard line. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
25 yards that time. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, They went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And he lost the football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something, double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Number 83. Out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, a give to Connor. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Bengals on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Working from the gun, Wentz. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team right on the midfield stripe.
At the 50-yard line.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
First down, Baltimore.
From the gun, Jackson. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 30 yards. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens get a bit closer. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite. But the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
And he returns this to the 22.
Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. Screen pass to Connor. That catch good for only a couple.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
By the Ravens.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
After the interception, here's Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14.
The score, Bengals 20, Ravens 14.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
20-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun. Jackson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field.
2-yard attempt.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely. A lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wentz. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the 1st half.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now Wentz again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. Out of the gun, he'll throw. He's going deep for Brown. And this is taken in at the 5. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 52 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll run with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a first. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Wentz going to throw to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
To try again after the sack. Wentz got his man on the comebacker. It's Roman, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Wentz to throw. That's complete to his running back, Connor. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Not much there, only a yard.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance. But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. James Conner, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here comes Andrews. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
On 2nd and 11 now, Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He's going deep for Brown. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't
that was PI like a...
Maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. It's our deal. It's our deal.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Roman. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 38-yard line. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Wentz. He hits Adams complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Tyus Bowser, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Tyus Bowser able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 44-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in. And had just enough to get it done.
25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Dobbins. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
A gain of 14. First down, Baltimore.
Jackson from the shotgun. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And he breaks through another tackle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
That's fucking trash.
Shy of the 20. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
The handoff.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeout?
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. James Conner, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive, and they work this well upfield across the 45.
A gain of
a good pickup there, 21 yards.
Raven first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Operating from the gun, Jackson is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
No gain.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He's going deep for Brown. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it. Unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
on Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The sack by Jordan Willis.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Connor. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15.
Tackle made.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
A 27-yard attempt.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, Jackson. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Logan Wilson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Today's final score, Bengals 40.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Baltimore,